Okay, this is Roger with Let's Talk Racing. With me I have Brian Ickler, driver in the ARCA Racing Series, also in the Nationwide Series, Truck Series, has been in the Grand National East, Winston West, and of course played out in the Baja from what I understand. Now, I understand you started at 14 years old. Why so late?
I was in a lot of guys started in go-karts really young, and I took a different path. Just growing up racing motorcycles, dirt bikes, and then too many broken bones. Slowly got into the off-road racing, and 14 years old. You got to be 16 to start. So I actually raced under my dad's name for a couple of years. Got in racing that way, and then made the transformation over to late models.
How many years did you run late models?
I ran one full year of late models in the West Coast.
Okay.
And then I jumped into the what was the Winston West Series.
And how was the transition from the two different cars?
Definitely different. Go from the lighter car to the bigger car. I still love doing it. I still love racing super late models, and I have been quite a bit this year across the country. But it's definitely a learning curve, and but I'm definitely glad I started there.
Now, when you moved into the ARCA Series, how much was that? Much of a change from Winston West, or was that pretty much close to the same?
From the Camping World East is what I ran right before the ARCA Series, and the biggest thing was the tracks. You run a lot of short tracks in the E Series, not a whole lot of horsepower. You're on a bias ply tire. Going to the ARCA car with 800 plus horsepower, 1.5 mile racetracks, 2 mile racetracks, places like the Rock where we're at today, and the radial tire is a big jump, but.
Yes.
It's been fun, and I actually enjoy driving them a lot more.
Cool. Now let's see. Now who's been mostly your driving force in your racing career other than yourself? I know you said you've ran into Robbie Gordon when you were doing the stuff in the Baja, and he helped get you set along this path now. What's been your other driving forces that you've had to help you out?
There's been a lot of people that have helped me. Robbie's helped me. He actually let me drive his nationwide car at Phoenix the end of last year. Kyle Busch has been just huge in helping me with everything. We got hooked up. When I moved back to Mooresville area, North Carolina, I started a race shop down the street from his late model shop. He's had a couple similar friends and become buddies, and he's helped me in every aspect of my racing so far.
Now, is there anything where you might be doing some racing for him in possibly Nationwide Series, or?
The truck stuff so far has all been him. I mean, it's the 51 truck, but he's not in it. I've been driving it. So a lot of his late model stuff. He got me hooked up with Braun Racing for the couple late Nationwide races that I've got,
Cool.
this year so far.
There you go.
So, he tries to help me when he can. And it's great, and the way the economy is right now, I'm really fortunate to have him on my side.
Oh, yep. You got to definitely have somebody that has already got to where he needs to be, and he's already known everything he's had to step through, and can at least guide you through. Having a mentor like that.
Yep.
In your racing career, what have you seen to be some of the hardest things to overcome for yourself?
The biggest thing is just. I'd say when I moved back here, starting with nothing. Starting my own race team. I had tools and everything and some cars, making them competitive. Building a race team really around from scratch was the hardest thing I think so far. And I think it's starting to pay off, with, once I've got inventory cars built up and stuff that runs good, and, slowly, building relationships with people like Kyle that can help me out, and I can, move on up the ladder and, not have to worry about that anymore.
Let's see. Nice thing is you can edit all this. When you were talking, I had a question, and then when I started listening more intent to what you were saying. Excuse me. Now, you were talking about you were building your own cars. What type of cars were those you were building?
Camping World East cars.
Camping World East? Okay. One of the things that you've probably done in your racing career, if you ever had to reverse any one thing, what would you think it would be?
Man, someone asked me the other day, and I could not. I sat there blank, and I couldn't think anything.
Anything you could undo that you may have ever accidentally done.
They told me the exact question that was asked was, what in your eyes was the biggest mistake that you have made in NASCAR? And I don't think I can look back and I don't think I've made any wrong decisions, and I don't regret anything I've done so far.
Good.
I've gone to racetracks, my own stuff, and really gambled on setup stuff, and missed it big. And
those are the ones you definitely want to go. Oh
going
my God,
back
why
and
did I ever do that?
If you could go back and change things like that, of course. But
yeah.
That's nothing really major. That.
Yeah, I mean, you sit there and you go in and do a setup, and you say, oh yeah, I think I got this, and you tweak it. And the next thing you know, you come off turn 3 or 4 too loose, and next thing you know, your ass ends in the wall, and you go, why did I ever do it that way?
Yeah, little things like that, but
yeah.
nothing major that really is a turning point that I regret.
What have your parents? I haven't heard you say anything about your parents. How have they been as far as your response to being into racing?
I mean, my dad and I grew up, racing, and he helped me over the years racing and off-road and everything. But he hasn't really had a huge role in this the last couple of years. He's helped me, get some cars and stuff, and start racing. But over the last few years, he hasn't had a huge role in it.
Okay. Let's see. I hate that. So far, all of them have been quiet. Now, all of a sudden, it wants to rain. Somebody is.
Do you have a radar on there?
Huh?
Do you have radar on there or no?
I can look it up. I'm connected on the internet. Let's go ahead and run through this part. Give me who would you basically like to thank as far as your sponsors? I mean, this is your nickel. Put out there what you want to put out there. You got a message you want to throw. If you've got charity stuff you do, throw that out there too.
I mean, the truck series, there's been so many people that have helped me. The ARCA series, there's really no sponsors in the car. It's all, there's nothing really there. It's just a black car that I own. It says 51 on the door, so nothing I really need to say there.
I'd like to thank myself.
Yeah.
At least the crew when they show up. Sure. Well, I'd like to thank you for being with us today, and have a good race. I hope to be back here for the race. I have several people wanting me to come here, but several people also want me to go other places. So
cool.
We will see.
Well, thank you.
Thank you too. All right, now let's look up.
Who's Chris? You know who that is?
Who's what?
Chris. Whatever.
Chris Economaki?
Yeah.
You don't know him? How old are you?
23.
That's probably why. Chris Economaki used to be a very, very well-known announcer in the NASCAR world, including even Indy world. He is probably in his 80s by now. I ran into him at Victory Junction Gang probably. In fact, it was on their official opening day. It was a private invitation only thing that 2,500 people went to, and I got to meet him. I've done work with Victory Junction Gang before, so that's how I managed to get in. But yeah, he's a very, very well known back in the day.
This thing's clearing up. I better head out there.
All right, I was gonna try to look up real quick for you and see what it says.
I got a laptop out there somewhere.
Okay, they do have wireless. I don't know if it's gonna
All right.
snag in for you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you too.
You know which gate you go in, or what door you go in to go up on the roof?
Not a clue.
Okay, thanks.
This is my first day in this place. It's not looking good. Looks like we're going to start getting some more rain around noon.
I don't want to hear that.
Sorry.
I want to hear this. It's going to be bright and sunshiny all day long.
I'm trying to say it's going to be still cloudy, 10% chance of precipitation at 11, 45% at 12, and by 3 o'clock it's supposed to be 75%. There's a cell that I show out here. It's not moving, but they said it was northeast in movement. Sitting over here, northeast being basically this way, north and northeast.
Which way is it moving?
Well, I'm trying to find the animated weather thing, but from what they're saying, this should probably be coming right across there.
Very rarely does it move that way.
But it's coming from northeaster, so fun. Hey, is this Sue? This is Roger. Somebody tried to call me a little bit ago. Oh, you did? Anytime Friday. Okay. To come out and visit? Uh-huh. That sounds good. Okay. Yep, bring it with you on Friday. Yeah, just the main box, yeah. No problem. Simply marvelous. Probably a dinner on Friday. Flash drive. Okay. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Alrighty. Oh, she's doing fine. She's at home and I'm out in Rockingham right now. Actually, when you called, I was doing an interview with Brian Ickler. I don't know if you know who. He's he does some nationwide racing, truck racing, and ARCA racing. Yep. He is. So we're doing this for our show tonight at 7 o'clock. Oh yes, it's been raining all day, so it's trying to clear up, and I'm trying to look on the weather map to see really if it's going to clear up or not. Yeah. Alrighty then. Okay, sounds good. Alright, bye-bye.